Stop eating vegetables and beans. Just kidding. But you might have heard that beans, vegetables, greens are dangerous for you. And you know what? A lot of my patients are asking me if they need to stop doing that. Hi, everyone. My name is Jacqueline, and welcome back to the Healthy Muse. I'm a registered dietitian, health and wellness coach. And today I'd like to talk about a really important topic that I think there's a lot of confusion around, and that is anti-nutrients. So, should you stop eating these foods? Well, the answer is that depends. I'm always about very personalized nutrition, personalized support. And as always, speak to your healthcare practitioner, your doctor, to make sure that you do what's necessary for you and your health. I just want to provide some general information so that you can make informed decisions. So, what the heck are anti nutrients? Well, plants actually have these compounds that they make to protect them against insects, bacteria, viruses, and predators. Unfortunately, these compounds can prevent the absorption of certain nutrients like iron, calcium, and zinc. And for sensitive individuals, they can cause some GI sensitivities. So, I want to talk about some common anti nutrients: phytates, lectins, saponins, tannins, and glucosinolates. Glucosinolates. So, foods like beans, nuts, seeds, grains, these and some fruits actually, these foods, mostly plant foods, will contain these anti-nutrients. On the flip side though, these same foods contain a host of health benefits. So, it's really important to take things into consideration, into context, because it all depends, right, on your health. It all depends on how much you have of this food and how you eat these foods. So, phytates are found in such foods as nuts, seeds, and beans. The good thing is that just by soaking these foods for a certain period of time and by sprouting them and also by cooking them for longer periods of time, you can significantly reduce the amount of these phytates. Phytates bind to zinc, iron, and calcium. So, for example, if you love nuts and seeds, almonds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, whatever they are, it can be very helpful to soak these nuts and seeds for about 8 to 10 hours, get rid of the water, and some people go as far as sprouting them. By significantly reducing the amount of these phytates, you then allow your body to absorb the nutrients found in these nuts and seeds, and you might find that it could be easier to digest these foods as well. Another food that's very common is beans and legumes, right? If you're a lover of beans, that's wonderful. Beans contain a treasure trove of nutrients, tons of fiber, tons of nutrients. Now, you never want to eat raw beans. You generally want to soak them for a minimum of 12 hours and boil them for a couple of hours. Adding a little bit of salt can actually also reduce the amount of these phytates and also lectins. So, lectins are another class of anti nutrients. They're also found in tomatoes, potatoes, for example. So, do you have to stop eating these foods? Not necessarily, okay, because a lot of these foods also contain potassium, they contain fiber. Then we have tannins. Tannins are found in red grapes, teas, wine, okay? You might have heard that green tea, right, has these catechins, or tea in general has a host of health benefits. The only thing is, I would avoid, if you're taking an iron supplement, drinking tea very close to when you're taking this iron supplement or even calcium supplement, okay? Another class of these anti nutrients are saponins. Okay, so if you ever have seen quinoa, soaking it in water, sometimes it kind of foams up like soap. So that's an indicator that the food contains saponins. And again, by soaking them for a while, by cooking them down, you can significantly reduce the amount of these saponins. Then you have the brassica class of vegetables, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbage, your kale, your broccoli, cauliflower. Okay, these foods contain glucosinolates. And a lot of people have heard that they need to stop eating broccoli because they're afraid they're going to have thyroid issues, and there might be some truth to that, okay? Again, very individualized. Everything depends on your particular health, what you're eating, your condition, and so forth. If people are really deficient in iodine, okay, I would say maybe be careful how much of these foods that you're eating. By boiling them, by cooking them, you can significantly reduce the amount of these glucosinolates. Remember, broccoli, cabbage, kale, cauliflower contains, these sulfur rich foods contain a host of health benefits as well. So it's not so black and white, right? We have to look, at the context. How much are we having of these foods? How often? How are we cooking them? And so forth. So just wanted to bring a little bit more awareness that there is something called anti-nutrients. There is some truth to that, but do you have to stop eating them? Not completely. Another anti-nutrient that's very common is oxalates. Oxalates are found in foods like spinach, beets, sweet potatoes, and actually a lot of these foods that I already mentioned, they contain a mixture of these anti-nutrients. So if you're prone to kidney stones, okay, if you are sensitive to that, it might help you to be a little bit more mindful of oxalate rich foods, okay? So, something just to consider. But remember, a lot of these foods also contain a host of health benefits. So, again, anti nutrients are found in plant foods, fruits, nuts, seeds, beans, legumes. They are created by plants to protect them against predators, insects, bacteria, viruses, but unfortunately, they can inhibit the absorption of certain nutrients like zinc, iron, calcium, and they can cause GI sensitivity in certain individuals. Tannins, saponins, glucosinolates, lectins, and oxalates. So, my friends, I'd love to know if you have questions about anti nutrients. Do you limit these foods? Do you love these foods? And if there's a topic that you'd like me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. Thanks again for stopping by the Healthy Muse, and I'll see you in the next video.